of meat-free food, Quorn is teaming up with Hollywood actor and talk show host Drew Barrymore for a long-term partnership. Joining me now to discuss that, the rise of meat-free products, and so much more is Judd Zusel, president of Quorn USA, as well as Drew Barrymore. Thank you so much for joining me, both of you.
Hi, Brooke. How are you?
Thank you so much for having us.
Of course. Drew, I'd like to kick off the conversation with you. You're a cookbook author, you're a mother of two, and you've been meat-free for quite some time now. But in October, you officially were named Quorn Chief Mom Officer. Break down for us what this role entails and what your goal is here ultimately.
Yeah, and I'm actually a flexitarian. I eat meat very rarely, very occasionally. I haven't eaten chicken in 13, almost 14 years. I read a book, Jonathan Safran Foer's Eating Animals, and that did it. I never ate a piece of chicken again. And it's a bummer because it is just that really great neutral protein that can transform into so many things. It's such a basic for so many people. So when you take that literally, pun intended, off the menu, it is challenging. But I've lived without it because once that light bulb goes on, you can't really turn it off. And I was so sort of transformed after reading that book that it felt like a commitment that was worthy to me. But I crave it and I miss it. And so Quorn for me is the answer to that. But I was raised vegetarian, and I was until I was 26, and I rarely eat meat. So I like Quorn in how that it is unjudgmental. For me, that's sort of a key entry point. And I'm super rebellious. So if you force me into something and you make me feel bad about it, I'm not going to want to participate in it. But I think we're all trying to talk about the consequences that Leia had for all of us in our planet and in our bodies. And I think Judd and I really found a great partnership because, first of all, if the product is good, that's really first and foremost. That's the North Star. It's hard to get behind anything that you don't truly believe in and want to shout from the rooftops and love so much. That's what's going to get you out of bed every day. That's going to be the fire you can't extinguish. So Judd is living his life by that. I joined forces with him. They gave me the cute name of Chief Mom Officer because there's something very endearing and personal about it. So I grabbed onto it and loved it. But really the partnership is about bringing the brand to life here in the United States.
Now, in recent years, like Drew said, there's been so many other players that have gone into the game. We've seen Impossible Foods. We've seen Beyond Meat really come into this arena. How does this partnership in particular help in Quorn's growth strategy to become that go-to chicken alternative and stand out amid all this noise?
Yeah, so Brooke, it's really early days in the meat-free game. And right now, meat-free products are only about 1% of total meat. So overall, very, very early days. And our strategy is to make sure that people all over the United States know Quorn and know it well. And part of partnering with Drew was to put together an amazing advertising campaign, but in a very authentic way where people would learn about the brand, they would see who we are, and they would, first of all, understand that we're the best meat-free product out there. So we just won Best Meat-Free Nuggets from Food and Wine magazine. And we're really proud of that overall, which is a really exciting thing because as the category is new and it starts to grow, we want to make sure people have a wonderful experience when they come in and they try a product. Because if they're coming into a new category, maybe they're a flexitarian trying to reduce the amount of meat they have. If they have a wonderful experience and they try Quorn first, we know they'll come back. We have very, very high repeat rates at Kroger, for example, and that's something we're very proud of. So, this is really kind of the top of the funnel for us, the overall marketing strategy. We want to say, hey, we're Quorn, we're meat-free chicken, we're the kings of meat-free chicken. And what I love about is our partnership with Drew is very authentic. She loves the brand, she eats the brand, she knew about it. Her girls eat the nuggets. So it really is a wonderful marriage, and it's something that's authentic and real. So we're very excited about that.
And also, speaking of this, go ahead.
I'm like, this literally is what I personally also really care about is is this warmth and this humanity and friendship and lifestyle and a celebration of life is something I want to feel as a consumer that a brand is bringing to the marketplace. But then again, it's always going to go back to, but is it a good product? And so I feel confident in that. And then I'm like, all right, now let's play.
Brooke, I actually, before I joined Quorn about a year ago, I was a consumer of Quorn and absolutely loved it. And you know, my view of the world is you have to work for companies that you believe in their mission, right? Healthy food for people and planet, but also you have to love the products. And I'm a huge consumer of Quorn. I'm vegetarian. I absolutely love the brand and eat it as well. So we're all super passionate about what we're doing.
And Drew, just to jump in there, you know, Hollywood has really seemed to embrace this meatless new category. Have you noticed a change when you're out and about when it comes to the options being served?
Well, you know, I don't really notice it sort of as Hollywood. I notice it in business. And one of the things I talked about in the pilot of doing this talk show was that these meat alternatives were coming to fast food chains. And I think that we as individuals do not believe that we are going to fix this problem, and we get very unincentivized and uninspired, and we kind of use this escape avoidance sort of behavior where if you don't see big companies and corporations and a sort of global agreement, you feel that your individual part will never make a dent in the difference. So what I'm so excited about is also availability. I work at Walmart and Costco and Kroger and CVS, and this is where I work with, you know, and Hy-Vee and multiple companies, you know, around the world. And I want accessibility and affordability. Do not make this niche. Don't make it expensive, and don't make it hard to find, because I won't realistically be able to engage with it. So Quorn's like the answer to that. And that is very important to me in business, as well as being actually able to put it into practice in life.
Yeah, and Judd, you know, we are Yahoo Finance after all. So speaking of that business angle, and Drew mentioned affordability is a key message for Quorn. Have you noticed that inflation is taking a toll on the meat-free industry at all, Judd?
Well, cost has definitely gone up. You know, we've seen increase in input costs. We've seen increase in electricity costs. I mean, we've seen, you know, cost of goods increase across the board for sure. You know, we've engaged in some modest price increases, you know, but overall, you know, a box of our meat-free nuggets are still, you know, under $5. You know, so you can feed 2 or 3 kids with that. So it's still pretty affordable overall. But we are seeing costs going up, you know, in the marketplace, unfortunately. You know, we hope that it's a short-term phenomenon, you know, with everything that's kind of happening right now in the world. But, you know, we're really trying to keep it affordable, as Drew said, and accessible to everyone, because, you know, we really need to attract new people into the category that are currently not plant-based today, you know, and that's the real goal for us.
And Drew,
I agree.
For those who are looking to get into this category, I'm dying to know, what is their go-to or your go-to recipe that people can try right away, easily, so that accessibility can be possible for this category?
Well, I mean, the simple answer as a parent for me is there were so many days I had to just get food into my kids, but I wasn't feeling great about what they were eating. But I was then going to avoid an emotional catastrophe. But I was in a purgatory of not feeling good about the choice of what we could just grab. So for me, like, kids love nuggets, and this is our solve. And we love it, and they crave it, and it's very addictive. Judd, I'm convinced there's something in the recipe, because I am truly addicted to it. But
it's the mycoprotein. It's the mycoprotein.
It really is. I also am a consumer and a foodie where I'm like, I want in on this chicken sandwich phenomenon, but I don't eat chicken. So I will get the breaded patty, and make these gourmet, amazing chicken sandwiches. I really love the meat for the bolognese. It makes such the perfect, delicious, do a little carrots, do a little celery, get a bucatini. and just have at it, and some tomato paste and sauce. It's so, you know, I really also like to take the chicken and like dice it up and eat like a chicken taco. So there's different, you know, preparations you can do. Some people want to slice it and put it on a salad. That works too. It's a very diverse product, but I just want it to be easy and findable and affordable. Families cannot be expected to go to a farm stand and cook a full meal all of the times. These aspirations are not true to life. You have to find people where they are and find out what they need and be gracious and thoughtful about it. Food is a luxury and it is a privilege. And I want to make it something that people can find and afford.
Well, Drew Barrymore, Judd Zusel, Quorn USA president, we have to wrap it up there. But thank you so much. I certainly took some notes there, and what go-to recipes were yours. Thank you so much for joining Yahoo Finance. I'll definitely have to continue this conversation another time.
Thank you for having us.